program.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Now, first of all, I must tell you something that happened to me yesterday. You know, we had a kind of a tough rehearsal, and a lot of problems came up, and I was nervous. And so in order to relax, I thought I'd jump in my car and take a drive up the coast highway, you see, which I did. And when I got a little past Oxnard, I decided to stop and get a dozen oranges. Now, that's a reasonable idea, isn't it? But not for me. I had to rip my pants on the barbed wire fence. Then I got back in the car, and I went on as far, and when I arrived at Santa Barbara, you see, I noticed on a little marquee, on a little theater there, they were presenting a play that I had never seen. And I was so anxious to see it. It was Death of a Salesman. So I went in, I bought a ticket, went in, and sat down. And out of 300 people in a theater 70 miles away, who do you think was sitting next to me? Dennis Day. That's all I needed. And all the time, the actors, when they were working, Dennis was making a lot of silly remarks. He drove me nuts. Well, anyway, when the curtain came down, Dennis says to me, well, goodbye, Mr. Benny, and be careful as you're driving home. I said, thank you, Dennis. I got in my car, and I was halfway back to Los Angeles before I realized the curtain was only the end of the first act. So on account of Dennis, I missed the best part of the show. And to make it worse, I left the oranges under the seat. Well, I don't want to worry you with all my trouble. Now, to get on with the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's always a great pleasure for me to introduce young talent, you see. And I have, as my guest tonight, one of the most exciting young singers in show business today, Mr. Bobby Rydell.
I'm sitting on top of the world, just rolling along, just rolling along. Yes, I am quitting the blues of the world, just singing a song, just singing my song. Glory, hallelujah, I just phoned the parson. Hey, Pa, get ready to call. Just like Humpty Dumpty, I'm going to fall. I'm sitting on top of the world, just rolling along, just rolling along. Yeah, let me tell you, I'm sitting on top of the world, just rolling along, just rolling along. Yeah, let me tell you, I'm quitting the blues of the world, just singing a song, just singing my song. Glory, hallelujah, I just phoned the parson.
Wasn't he great? Ready? I'm sitting on top of the world. And you can understand all the lyrics. Hey, Bobby, come on out here, will you, please? Bobby, you did that song beautifully.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benny.
You know, most of the young singers today, they all sing alike, but you have a sort of a distinctive style.
Well, thank you very much.
And now, Bobby, tell me, how would you compare your style of singing, let's say, with Crosby's?
Well, I think Lindsay Crosby sings very well.
No, I didn't mean that. No, I meant the old one, you know, with the thinning hair.
Oh, you mean Gary.
No, look, I mean their father, Bing Crosby.
Is he in the business, too?
He's in every business. If he can't get it for you wholesale, they don't make it. But, Bobby, I'm sure that our viewers would like to know something about your background. You see, now, how did you first get into show business?
Well, Mr. Benny, most people think I started out as a singer, but you see, that's not true. I've always wanted to be a comedian.
Oh, a comedian, huh?
Yeah, you see, ever since I was a small boy, I used to get a kick out of impersonating performers like, Jerry Lewis and Milton Berle and Red Skelton. And I guess the singing came later.
Oh, you do imitate. Well, let's see you do Jerry Lewis.
You want I should do an impersonation, Jerry Lewis, just like that, Jerry Lewis, that rehearsal.
That was real good. And you can do Red Skelton?
Yes, sir, boy. I mean, I think the mean. Yes, sir.
You know, a funny thing, but all these people, they imitate these people, but nobody seems to be able to imitate me.
Well, maybe the reason for that is because nobody has eyes as blue as yours. And besides, if I did imitate you, you'd just look at me and say,
That was pretty good. I must say we do look alike. Tell me, Bobby, how long have you been in show business? Huh?
2 years.
2 years. Gosh, only 2 years. And I've been in it practically all my life. But you've gone so far in such a short time. You know, you're one of the cleverest young fellows I've ever had on my show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benny. That's a wonderful compliment. And it means an awful lot to me coming from you because you're my idol.
I am?
Yes, sir. You see, there are a lot of wonderful comedians, but when I watch you on television, I get the feeling of watching a master at work. A real genius.
Oh, really? Bobby, no. You're embarrassing me.
Well, then I won't go on.
Oh, yes! After all, you are my guest.
Well, maybe I'd better tell you later.
Yes, I'll remind you.
But really, Mr. Benny, you are my idol, and I never miss your show.
Now, there's what I call a real fan. Huh? You watch all of my shows?
Every one.
Yes.
And Mr. Benny.
Yes?
Would you mind if I made a few little suggestions?
You'll make some suggestions, you say?
Well, yeah, constructive criticism. You don't mind, do you?
No. I think constructive criticism is good for everybody, you know. How long did you say you were in show business?
2 years.
Well, what are some of these suggestions, you?
Well, for one thing, and I'm sure this could be easily corrected.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, your pace isn't exactly right. It's a little too slow.
You mean you don't like my timing?
Well, let me put it to you this way. It's all right to be slow, but you're sort of a lazy Perry Como.
Well,
now another...
Oh, you have more.
Yes, Jack.
Jack? What happened to Mr. Benny? Well, all right. What are your other suggestions?
It's about that long take you always do.
Oh, you mean after I tell a joke, the way I stare at the audience?
Yes, I sort of get the feeling that you're surprised they're still there.
You're not supposed to laugh. Well, look it, young fella. I got something to tell you. If I want criticism, I don't need you. I can read my fan mail. Now, look, all you were supposed to do is sing. Is that right? I was just nice enough to bring you out and talk. Are you ready to do your encore?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, Malin, will you please give this veteran of the theater an introduction?
Tootsie, goodbye. Hey, tootsie, don't cry. The choo-choo train that takes me away from you. No words can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me, tootsie, and then hey, do it over again. Watch for that mail. I'll never fail. And if you don't get a letter, then you know I'm in jail. Tootsie, don't cry. Tootsie, bye-bye. Yesterday I heard a lover sigh. Goodbye, oh me, oh my. And 7 times he got aboard his train. And 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again and tell her, tootsie, goodbye. Hey, tootsie, don't cry. The choo-choo train that takes me away from you. No words can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me, tootsie, and then I'd do it again. Now watch for that mail. Then you know that I'll never fail. And if you don't get a letter, then you know I'm in jail. Whoa, tootsie, don't cry. Yeah, tootsie, bye-bye. So long.
The show was over an hour ago. The boss is usually home by now. What's the matter, boss?
Quiet.
I'll just turn
Quiet, Rochester. Somebody's following me. Somebody's after me.
What's the matter, boss?
Rochester, somebody's following me. Somebody's out to get me.
Oh, boss.
No, I'm serious. I decided to walk home from the studio, and it was getting dark. And I glanced back, and there was some fellow, and he had his coat collar turned up, the ugliest man you've ever seen, and he was following me.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. I looked back once, and he ducked behind a tree. And then he ducked behind a bush. I even went down a dark alley, and I couldn't lose him.
Oh, boss. No, just shadows you saw. You know, at night, your imagination plays tricks on you.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe it was my imagination. I don't know. Yeah, that could be it. Shadows and things. After all, why would anybody want to hurt me? You know, I'm such a sweet guy. I mean, everybody loves me. So kind, so considerate.
And so modest.
Gee, I don't know.
Boss,
What?
Why don't you sit down and have your dinner? I've got everything all ready.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I was just imagining things. Hey, that looks good.
Well, sure.
Ah. Ooh.
Why?
Tomato soup. Good.
Now, let's go and brighten things up a bit.
All right. Yeah, soup was good. I don't know why I was so worried about it.
Well, there. Now, boss, while you're having your soup du jour, I'll go and get your Chateaubriand.
Thank you, Pierre.
What, monsieur?
Imagine me worrying over nothing. It was shadows, that's all. That's all it was, shadows. And all the time I thought somebody was following me. I'll get it, Rochester. Yada-dee-da-dum, bum-bum-ba-bum. Da-dum, bum-dee-da-da-dum. Hello? 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 They hung up.
What's the matter, boss?
Rochester, I just answered the phone. Who was ever on the other end hung up.
How do you know they hung up?
How do I know? I heard the click. I distinctly heard the sound of a click.
Well, maybe they were using a payphone, and that sound you heard was the dropping of a dime.
Oh, the dropping of a dime. I've known that sound since I was 2 years old. I tell you, somebody is after me. I'm in trouble.
Control yourself. Control yourself. I'll go get a sedative.
Okay. See, if I only knew why. If I only knew why somebody wants to get at me. What they've got to get me. There's a rock. And a note on it. Get out of town before it's too late. Get out of town. Just a note, no ticket. I'm going to call the police. That's what I'm going to do. Operator. Operator. Operator.
Number, please.
Operator. Operator, this is an emergency. Get me the police.
1 moment, please.
1 moment, please. 1 moment, please. It's always 1 moment, please.
Now, sir, what was it you want?
Operator, look, I'm in danger. My life is in danger. Get me the police.
What is your address?
366 North Cramden Drive.
I see. And what is your name?
Jack Benny.
Jack Benny?
Yeah.
I watch your shows all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yes, do you mind if I make a few suggestions?
Not now! Just get me the police. My life is in danger. Everybody's making suggestions.
Beverly Hills Police Department.
Oh, officer, listen, will you get down here right away, 366 North Cramden Drive? My life is at stake.
366 North Cramden Drive. Who is this?
This is Jack Benny, and no suggestions. Come down here right away, will you, please? Yeah. I thought you were going to get a sedative.
I did. I feel fine now.
Rochester, stop with jokes now. I just phoned the police. Why don't they hurry up? Gee, another rock. This is awful.
Well, I don't blame you for being upset.
Certainly, those windows cost a fortune. Look, if you're going to kill me, kill me. Don't torture me. Here they come now. Take a look. That's them. Hurry up,
Open up, it's the police.
Coming. Coming.
We caught the prowler, Mr. Benny. My men will bring him in and you can make a formal complaint.
Well, hang on, will you? I know he wants to kill me.
Oh, don't worry. We have him under control. Bring him in, boys.
Dennis Day.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Dennis, you were the one that was following me?
Uh-huh.
And torturing me all the way home?
Uh-huh.
Well, why? Why would you do this to me?
Because you had Bobby Rydell on your show instead of me.
What?
And you let him sing 2 songs. I only get 1.
Oh.
I should talk like Jerry Lewis. I should.
Oh, why? Is that any reason for you to follow me home and make a wreck out of me? Oh, brother. I wish I'd have known it was you.
I didn't want you to know. I always stayed a half a block away.
A half a block away. I could feel you breathing right down the back of my neck.
I know. I had a long straw.
Shall we take him with us, Mr. Benny?
No. No, I'll leave him here.
Gee, thanks. Come on, fellas.
I don't know, Dennis. For years and years, I've been talking to you and lecturing you and everything, but it doesn't seem to do any good. I don't know. I guess there's only one thing to do. Rochester.
Coming up.
All right, Dennis. Take off your coat. Take off the other coat. The other coat. All right, come here. Come here, Dennis. Come here. Dennis, come here. That won't be necessary. I can just...
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I do want to thank Bobby Rydell for being my guest.
Oh, Mr. Benny, Mr. Benny.
And
Mr.
now...
Benny.
Yeah?
Here are the oranges you left at the theater in Santa Barbara.
Dennis! Dennis!
This has been a J&M production. And this is Don Wilson saying good night.